we're going to go for some found.
Yes, we are.
So found. For you, what was it about the project that said, I got to come on board?
Honestly, it was so much about the underrepresented voices. The whole premise of Found was finding the missing. It was not even about the found people. It was all the missing, and it was missing from the underrepresented communities. And I love working with NK Carol. She's amazing. She always has brilliant ideas, and she always brings something that's really special and unique to the table. And I was just like super, super thrilled to be a part of that and help tell the story.
So there's two key aspects. Let's talk about the first one. Just the procedural part of it. How did you approach composing that part of it? The actually finding the victims and knowing that the victims are missing the most of the movie. So how did that affect your score?
I mean, I think a lot of it is like thematically based, you know, so it's good to have the proper themes, and so when you do find the missing people, you kind of bring in that theme, you kind of bring in that feeling of, yes, we're home, they're coming home, we're making it happen. I think that's really, really special, so that's what I always try and focus on.
Now the darker part is our lead character, who does have a noble cause, takes an approach of kidnapping her former kidnapper, of that. How did you approach that little ambiguity and darker side of that character?
I oddly felt very comfortable with this darker side because I feel, with Gabby mostly because honestly I feel like you can't have a hero who's like all light, you know what I'm saying? I feel like to be like a really good hero, you have to have that like really like that push and pull. You have to have the darker thing that kind of keeps you anchored in something, in something that like sort of like feral about yourself, or else where do you get some of that energy from? So I don't know, but for me, I thought it was awesome. I love playing the dichotomy. That's my favorite thing, is to play the dichotomy of heroes. A hero versus the villain that they fight with on the inside, Anyway, so.
Now, how did you approach the villain Paul, who is so great, but he's also confined? How did you approach his music?
Yeah, his was a lot more, I think it was a little bit trickier to find. I think he can kind of be, because he was also had his like very villain side and his very like hero side as well. So again, themes, having a very specific sound palette. His was more like grizzled, and dirty and grimy for his like sort of sound palette. And then just kind of building other sound palettes on top of that, and using themes and palettes and sonic worlds to get it done.